Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another tier list. In this video, it's going to be our first MLB tier list that we have done on the channel. I do not think in my 2 years of doing this, I have done an MLB tier list. So what we're going to do today, since spring training's about going through, midway through it, and MLB opening day is about 30 days away, we are going to be predicting every win total of every team. We're going to give it 20 to 30, obviously 40 to 60, and then stuff like that as well. So, of course, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to number one, drop a like, subscribe, turn that bell on, all of that good stuff so you guys don't miss out on any of the latest videos. Yesterday, I just now realized this, that I did not put the actual screen recording of the tier list on the video, so I will make sure to do that for this video as well. Really quickly though, Man City's playing right now. I'm watching it in the other room as well, trying to keep up with it back and forth. It's 2-0 right now, currently at the time of recording this video. I'm sure it's halftime by now. But with that being said, it's also game day for the Clemson Tigers. Pelicans are playing tonight as well in MSG, so we got a really big game ahead as we are trying to hold on to that 6th spot in the playoffs. But with that being said, let's go ahead and hop into one of our first MLB videos on the channel. Alright, so of course, to start us off, we have the 90 to 100 win teams. The teams, aka, who are going to be really, really good this year and make the playoffs, in my opinion, regardless of how bad they do towards the end of the year. Now, the next type of teams you have are 70 to 89. These are going to be kind of the teams that are still going to be good and make the playoffs, just not the elite teams like we've been seeing in the past couple of years as well. Then you got 50 to 69, kind of the above average bad teams, in my opinion. And then 49 wins or less means that you are absolutely crap, in my opinion. So let's start this team off with the Arizona Diamondbacks being our first team. In my opinion, they're going to get 50 to 69 wins, in my opinion. They're going to be a lot better than they were last year, but again, or a lot worse than they were last year. I know last year they took the league by surprise last year, almost making the playoffs, in my opinion. I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on that. But again, they're going to downgrade from this year, in my opinion. They're going to be back to where they always are, so that's why I have them at 50 to 69 wins. Moving on, you got the Atlanta Braves. I'm going to go 100-plus wins, in my opinion. Number one, you added Chris Sale to your roster, who, by the way, today, they're 2 innings pitched and struck out 4 batters. That is really, really good, in my opinion. So you got pitching depth, what you needed. You got your same rotation with Acuna back, the reigning NL MVP. Ozzy's in there. Austin Riley's going to be back as well. Matt Olson coming off a great MVP candidate season as well. So all the pieces are still in place for you guys to win the National League East. I'm still in football mode right now. But with that being said, you still got to play your season out. So that's why I'm going to have them at 100-plus wins. Moving on to Baltimore Orioles, I'm also going to put them at 90 to 100 wins. They were really good last year. They took the American League by shock last year, winning the AL East and obviously beating out the Rays, the Yankees. A lot of their offense is going to be really, really good, so expect that to happen. But I'm worried about what they're going to do defensive-wise in the fielding rotation for me, and pitching is what's going to be the key for this Baltimore Orioles team, in my opinion. Moving on, you got the Boston Red Sox. They're another 50 to 69 win team. You lost your best pitcher in Chris Sale this year to the Atlanta Braves. So with that being said, I'm not so sure that you're going to be very, very good this year. This year may be kind of a rebuild year, but it's still going to be an exciting, fun team to watch. Moving on, you got the Cubs. I'm giving them 70 to 89 wins. I think they make the playoffs this year. I think that Dansby Swanson, Cody Bellinger being back, they just signed somebody else, I believe Hernandez or somebody from yesterday. So you've got pieces in there to be really, really good. It's just, can you find a way to get through and beat some of the really good teams that you're going to play? I think it's going to be a huge test to the Cubs this year. I think last year was kind of an S season for them, especially with Dansby being there for a year already, and then Cody Bellinger obviously being new to the Cubs. So those pieces, impact, will be together again for this year, and I think they can get some wins together and hopefully be a wild card team, in my opinion. Moving on, you got the Chicago White Sox. I know absolutely nothing about them, so I'm going to put them at 49 wins or less. That's what I got. Let's move on. Moving on, you got the Cincinnati Reds. They took the league a lot too, by far, I believe. They were actually coming along really nicely towards the second half of the year. So with that being said, I've got them almost getting 70 wins on the year for me. That's just how I feel about the Reds. Moving on to the Cleveland Guardians, I'm going to put them at 49 wins or less. Again, don't know too much about them. I don't think they're very good to begin with either, so they're obviously not going to be very good. Again, the next team is the Colorado Rockies. They're going to get 49 wins or less, in my opinion. They just haven't been good in a long while. I expect that to continue this year. I do not expect them to be very, very competitive this year. I can't name one player on the Rockies at all. So that goes with my knowledge of baseball. I have them with 49 wins or less. Moving on, though, you got the Tigers. I am going to be putting the Tigers at 50 to 69 wins. They're going to be one of the better bad teams in the league. Casey Mize, obviously, is one of their starting pitchers. He's going to be back this year. The Detroit pitching rotation is going to be really, really good. Their defense is going to kind of catch on, but it's really about their offense. And if their offense can put up numbers and shock a lot of these teams, then they're going to be really good for a couple of years in a row. Moving on, you got the Houston Astros. Of course, they're going to get 100 wins or so. We should be fine. We just signed Altuve to a 5-year contract extension. If you guys did not see, I'm going to watch the Astros later this year. Obviously, I'm a Braves fan too. So with that being said, that's where I've got the Astros at 100-plus wins this year. Moving on, you got the Kansas City Royals. They're going to get a 49-win team again. I don't understand what went wrong for the Kansas City Royals. Last year they were bad. This year they're going to be bad again, in my opinion. But that's where I have them as well. Moving on, you got the Los Angeles Angels. And in my opinion, they're a 50 to 69 win team. Mike Trout's back. But you lost your best player in Shohei Ohtani this year to the Dodgers. Obviously, that rivals a lot of what people are saying. So I think that's a heck of a downgrade. But honestly, it could be a good thing that you got rid of your best player. Maybe he was holding this organization back from winning. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But for now, you just lost your best pitcher. I don't think you're going to make a run for the playoffs this year either. Moving on, you got the Dodgers. They're going to be a 100-plus win team as well. Again, the addition of Shohei Ohtani speaks for itself. He can hit, he can pitch. He's not going to be able to pitch this year, but he's been looking good in spring training today, at least. So I'm got some high hopes for this Dodger teams as well. You got Clayton Kershaw back for another year, so your good pitching rotation's good. It's all about if Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, and those pieces of the offense can get going throughout the rest of the year. Moving on, you got the Miami Marlins. They're going to be a 49-win or less team, in my opinion. They're not going to be very good. They're going to be all right. But with that being said, they're going to compete in the NL East for sure. They just got to win their games, and I don't think they're going to as well. Moving on, you got the Milwaukee Brewers. I'm going to have them at a 70 to 89 win team. I think that whole division, the National League Central, I believe it is going to be a really tough division to compete in this year. It's kind of be like the NFC North from this year in the NFC for football as well. So with that being said, the Milwaukee Brewers, obviously you've got Yelich still. You've got some of your key players in there. It's just a matter of time before they find it and hit stride, in my opinion. Moving on, the Minnesota Twins, they're going to be a 70 to 89 win team this year. They're going to be really solid this year. They're going to be one of the better American League teams this year, in my opinion. They'll make the playoffs. They'll be really good. Obviously, they got some young talent on that roster, pitching-wise as well. So they're going to be really, really good, in my opinion. For me, that's just my opinion. They're going to be really, really good. Moving on, you got the New York Mets. I know a lot of people did not expect them to play that great. I did not expect them to be this bad as they were last year. But with that being said, DeGrom, I believe, is back. They got somebody else back as well. I'm not sure who it is. But 70 to 89 wins is most likely for them. They'll probably come in second place in the National League East. I just don't see them hitting that 100-win mark or that 90-win mark, in my opinion. Moving on, you got the Yankees. They're going to be a 100-win team this year. But now, obviously, Aaron Judge is coming off a phenomenal year at home runs this year. Their catcher, I believe Esposito is his name, is really, really good as well. So those or is it Garcia? I could be mistaken. But their catcher is really solid at batting as well. Their offense is going to be just fine. It's a matter of how is their defense going to be and how's their pitching rotation going to be. But overall, I see them getting 100 wins this year. Moving on, you got the Oakland Athletics. They get a 49 win or less. Nothing's going for them. They're kind of like the Chicago White Sox, like I said, the Kansas City Royals, like I said. They're not going to be really, really good this year at all. So I have them at 49 wins or less. Moving on, you got the Philadelphia Phillies. I'm going to give them a 70 to 89 win team. I believe that 2-3 spot in the National League East is going to be up for grabs. Bryce Harper, Phillies offense has been playing great. Obviously, they're going to get back in rhythm this year. They're going to be back for me. But with that being said, they're going to have to compete with the New York Mets. And the Mets, obviously, we saw the jump that they took a couple years ago when they were really good competing with the Braves. So we will see, but I ultimately think it's going to come down to the Phillies and the Mets in that NL East for me. Moving on, you got the Pittsburgh Pirates. They get a 49 win. When have they ever been good? That's just a genuine question. Let me know in the comments down below. Moving on, you got the Padres. They were a flop last year. They were supposed to be really good last year, and they weren't. But I have them at 70 to 89 wins. In my opinion, they're going to be solid this year. They're going to compete in the National League West. Obviously, that division is really insane. You got the Dodgers, you got the A's, you got the Padres, of course. You still got the Giants, who we're going to talk about here in a second. But with that being said, the Padres are got to compete this year if they want to give their fans any hope as well. So I'm going to be giving them a 70 to 89 win team. They're going to be really good. It's just a matter of when they could hit that stride. Moving on, you got the Giants. I'm going to be giving the Giants 100 wins, in my opinion. I think the Giants are loaded with talent. Jock Peterson, obviously. Pitching-wise, they're really, really good. They can hit the ball insane. Last year, we saw the numbers as well. They competed with the Dodgers a lot last year. So, with that being said, they're going to get 90 to 100 wins with this squad, in my opinion. That NL West is going to be a tough division to compete in for Will. It was like the NFC East of last year, in my opinion. But moving on, you got the Seattle Mariners. I've got them at 50 to 69 wins. They're going to take a drop off from what they were. Obviously, Julio Rodriguez Jr. is coming off a phenomenal year with the Seattle Mariners, of course, in the Home Run Derby last year. He also was an MVP candidate this year. But I think that he's still going to put up those numbers. It's just that their entirety of that team is going to be terrible, in my opinion. Moving on, you got the Cardinals, and obviously I'm going to have them at 49 wins or less. Last year, obviously, they lost one of their best pitchers to retirement, so I'm going to have them at 49 wins or less for there. But moving on, you got the Tampa Bay Rays. I've got them at 70 to 89 wins. They're going to be really good like they've been always in the past. That's just my opinion on that team. They're always going to be a mid-tier team. They're never going to get over that. Of course, back in 2020, that really didn't count. That was COVID year. So I've got them as a 70 to 89 win team in my opinion. Moving on, you got the Texas Rangers. They're going to get 100 wins this year. Again, last year, they were insanely good. They won the World Series. The defending World Series champions should, again, be really solid this year. Their hitting rotation, their pitching rotation, everything's in place for them to get more than 100 wins this year as well. Moving on, final two, you got the Toronto Blue Jays. I'm going to put them at 49. Then you got the Washington Nationals. I'm also going to be putting them at 49 wins or less. Both of these two teams are basically going to be the same. George Springer for the Toronto Blue Jays is going to want to be out of there by the end of the year, in my opinion. That's just me. But yeah, that is me ranking every MLB team by wins and predicting their win total amount this year. Anyway, that is going to be all for today's video. Of course, if you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe button. We do our best to post on this channel every single day. With that being said, big announcement coming to the channel Friday. It's going to be about Auburn. We're going to talk Auburn basketball on Friday during our Franchise Friday, so stick around for that video coming Friday. Just a outlook for you guys for the rest of the week. Tomorrow we're getting Predicting Free Agency Part 2. And then number 3, of course, on Thursday is going to be our SEC Weekly Basketball Prediction. And then Friday, of course, is going to be Franchise with the Arizona Cardinals. Again, let me know what you thought of the video in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn that bell on as we do our best to post on this channel every single day. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Peace.